Thank you. Well, Ivo van Hove was directing your play, Angels in America, so you know him very well, I think, now?
Well, I have been seeing Ivo and Jan's work at New York Theater Workshop in New York for many years before they contacted me and asked me about doing a production of Angels at the Tamil Group. So I was thrilled when they asked because I had already become a very ardent admirer of their work, which I think is among the greatest things I've ever seen in theater. The productions that I saw at New York Theater Workshop.
Yeah. What makes Ivo van Hove such a good director?
I think Ivo is a very great director. In some ways, I consider him to be the greatest living director of stage work. I think his interpretations of plays are absolute revelations of the text. They're not simply interpretations. They're not rewrites. They're not alterations of the text, but they take something deep inside the play and bring it forward in an absolutely electrifying fashion, and plays that you think can only be done one way, like his famous and really remarkable production of Streetcar Named Desire in New York. He shows you a totally new way of looking at the play and thinking about the play, and the play isn't unfamiliar to you. You recognize a classic text that you're well acquainted with, but you understand it more deeply and more profoundly. In some instances, like with Lillian Hellman's play The Little Foxes, which I and many other Americans had sort of dismissed a long time ago as a kind of fairly creaky melodrama. Ivo and Jan's production revealed it to be actually a great tragedy of sort of Greek proportion. It was an astonishing night, and everything I've seen them do really thrills me. So I have unbounded admiration for their work.
And what's their secrets, do you think?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm actually hoping that Ivo will let me sit in on some rehearsals. He's going to be doing The Crucible in New York, I think, this year, and I assume rehearsing it here. And I'd like to sit in and watch, because I have absolutely no idea how they do what they do. I didn't see the production of Angels until it was in its second year, and I wasn't present at any of the rehearsals. I mean, obviously, on one level, there's a prodigiously intelligent reading of the play that must precede the work, and just a very deep and probing analytic intelligence that can kind of go down into the play's depths and discover what is the sort of the true heart of the event. There's a great stripping away of sort of ordinary scenographic effects and conventional theater storytelling techniques, although there's no style exactly. There's no sort of this is what we always do approach to it. Each production is a kind of a radical reinvention. So I think there's great intelligence and fearlessness, and for a playwright, this is something that I really love. You feel that both of them really believe in the play. They sort of trust that the play will take them and their actors and their audience someplace worth going. There's never any sense of needing to apologize for the play. It's always a sort of a celebration of dramatic writing. It's done with great respect. He's also, discovered that many screenplays are sort of wonderful plays waiting to be revealed as such. So it's those are the two hallmarks. Also, an absolutely shocking degree of emotionality that's never melodramatic. It's always deeply grounded in the moment. But he draws, draws terrifyingly naked and shattering, powerful performances from his actors, and that's sometimes it's very, very hot and supercharged. I've noticed that American actors working with him, the emotions are really volcanic. With the Tony group, there's a kind of a slightly more cool approach, but underneath the cool approach is just ferocious commitment and presence in the moment. There's never anything forced or false, and everyone seems to know exactly what's going on, and also the entire company seems to know how important the event is and what Jan and Eva were trying to convey. You get the sense that the entire company has taken on almost a directorial, dramaturgical responsibility, as well as performing brilliantly in each of the various parts.
Wow, beautiful. Yes.
Thank you. Long answer, so I don't know.
No, it's beautiful. It's we pick out the pieces, but thank you. Could you also say something about Jan Verswijfeld as a scenographer? Something typical for him.
I've already said something. I've told this story before, but I was in the middle of working on the movie Lincoln when I decided to go over to Amsterdam. Because everyone who had been to Amsterdam and seen the production of Angels there said, well, you really have to see this. And it was, as I said, in the second year of its performances. And I was working on this film, and there was a lot of difficulty getting the film made. And I was worried at the moment that I arrived in Amsterdam that it wasn't going to happen. And, films are so big, there are sort of so many people involved and so much money involved and so much to organize, and it's kind of overwhelming. And I didn't know anything about the production at the Tony Group except that it was a success and that everybody loved it. So I went in not knowing what to expect, and walking in and seeing Jan's absolutely stripped bare stage and seeing those amazing actors telling this story with, there's a great deal of very sophisticated scenography design involved, but when you're sitting in the audience, it looks like there's nothing. It's, the famous Peter Brook empty space. There's really nothing there but the actors and the words, and it was a great joy. I can't even describe it, to watch this and to sort of be reminded of how important and powerful and beautiful theater could be with very little means. It was really sort of a dramatic event in a boiled down form, and it really is a very simple form in a certain sense at its irreducible core. And I thought what Jan did, those projections, the last image with Roy Cohn lying dead on what looks like a beach and the waves washing over him, and it was indelible imagery, and it's always been. In Little Foxes, there was a television screen, unless a large flat screen TV, where, as I remember, Regina's husband Horace is dying. He's upstairs in the play, dying on his bed, but Jan put him front and center in this sort of video, and it looked like a kind of Mannerist painting. It was except it moved. And Christopher Evan Welch, who died recently, was a very great actor, was there in the screen, sort of expiring, and it was just a heartbreaking and beautiful image. And this is one thing I remember from most of the productions is you always walk away with some stage image that's profound and essential and unforgettable and disturbing. The bathtub in Streetcar Named Desire, or the entire use of space in Scenes from a Marriage. The sort of shock of going from this elaborate kind of maze theater that they constructed to a completely empty building, as though a bomb had blown up and everything had been cleared away. And it just, it was a brilliant set designer. It's sort of hard to talk about Ivo and Jan's work separately. I've never seen Ivo production. I think that Jan didn't design, and I've never seen Jan's design separate from Ivo. So it's clearly a critically important collaboration, and I think historically significant collaboration in world theater.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah. You said beautiful things. Thank you. I think this is what we need.
Great.
Yeah.
Turn on our camera again.
Yeah, we turn on the camera so we can look you in the eyes and say, yeah. Yes, it was very beautiful.
That's good. All right, good. I'm glad you got what you want, and mazel tov to both of them. It's great that they've gotten this prize. I'm really happy for them.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for making the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Tony. Have a good day. Oh, is hij al weg? Ja.
Oh ja. Hij nam halverwege niet op, maar jij hebt die. Dus dat komt goed.
Oh ja, dat komt goed.
Alleen even kijken hoe het geluid is, maar dat moeten we